Hello, everybody. And it's time now to start getting back into recording some messages from our websites. You know, I've taken some time off, especially the whole month of February off, to get some personal things taken care of, things I needed to get done and out of the way. And it was nice having a month off, and then it ended up being 2 months. And I'm going to get back to messages now and just get focused back on this instead of just writing. You know, it's hard to get back into the swing of things when you've taken time off, and I haven't been thinking about the New World Order and every conspiracy around every corner and every person or group or event waiting to destroy us or attack us. And sometimes you just have to walk away from it. You get sick of it. You get tired of dealing with it every day. But the Lord has brought me back to focus now to get back into dealing with this stuff, exposing who they are, what their plans are. And you know what? It doesn't matter how much we think we know. No matter how many pieces of the puzzle we get, we form ideas into our own minds about how we think future events are going to go. And it's something the Lord tells me all the time, and He just reminded me the other day about it. Things aren't going to happen the way we expect them to. And so we have to be flexible enough to know that there's going to be curveballs coming at us in the future, things that happen that we don't expect. You know, because especially when you sit and you study this stuff for years like I have, and every time you think you know something, you realize you don't know it all. Or something happens that you didn't expect, or something that you expected to happen doesn't happen. Satan has more than one way to come to power. And it's one of the foundational things I've always said is that don't count on any one road for Lucifer to rise to power on earth. He has several. He's not counting on any one road. He can switch plans. He can switch tactics whenever he feels the need to. And that's why you'll notice it's such a loop and a circle, everything out there. The Jews are in charge, or behind it all, or the Illuminati is in charge behind it all, or the Catholics are, and it just goes on and on, and evidence points everywhere in every which direction. And it's just kind of like a loop. It's a circle of madness. It's what I've called it. And that's what it is, because everything is just thrown out there. So many scenarios, so many different groups, all thinking they're the ones in power. They're the ones who are in control of what's happening. And the truth is, none of them are. None of them are. And so, you know, as bold and as brass as they want to stand up and say, well, we're the ones who are controlling the world, we're the ones pushing and pulling the strings, there's at least 10 other groups saying the same things, and the reality is none of them are. I think Lucifer is going to sidewind everybody and come up with some way of coming to power, some plan that we're not expecting. You know, the Bible tells us the events that are going to happen. It doesn't tell us exactly how they are going to arise to happen. And so if you get into the details on how things are going to happen like I do, you know, it's kind of like a day-by-day, a play-by-play analysis of everything going on around us, that it's eventually going to lead to these events that are going to happen. You tend to get caught up in a world of conspiracies, a world of plans, satanic groups, nefarious organizations, satanic alliances, everything that you wanted to know and didn't want to know. There's just so much stuff out there. And so that's why I just kind of sit back and I wait and see what the Lord has to say. It would be nice if He just sat down and gave me His entire plan out. But He doesn't do that. He gives you pieces here, He gives you pieces there, information here, information there, enough to lead the people with, enough to open their eyes. Most people can't handle the truths that are out there. Just the simple ones I have on my websites, I get the most flack for. You know, people don't want to believe that aliens are fallen angels, or that you know, the churches are deceived and leading all the people astray. They don't want to hear this stuff. They don't want to hear that they need to be planning and stocking up for famines and disasters that are coming in the future. They don't want to hear about it. You know, all you'll hear from them is have faith. Just have faith in the Lord, and yes, we are to have faith. But even the ant prepares for winter, and the Lord has told me that so many of these people, He is going to allow them to lose every dime that they have. They're going to lose their homes in destructions. And when they go crying out to Him as to why, He is going to turn His backs on them, because He has already sent people to warn them of things to do from now, to prepare, to get ready. And they don't listen. You know, they mock His people that He stands up. And they use their own head wisdom and their own reasonings, and then the pastors are lulling the people to sleep. And nobody's looking out for what's coming ahead. You know, and so many fewer yet are even prepared for it. And I know it's hard to get prepared. I know it's hard, but you know what? The Lord blesses your intent to do so. He knows what you plan to do, what you want to do. He knows what the desires of your heart are, and He knows what your priorities are. You know, and so if your priority is with Him and the desires of your heart are to do the things that He tells you to do and leads you to do, He's going to honor that. You know, He's not going to honor the have faith and sit back on the couch crowd. Those are the exact same ones that He is going to allow their homes to be destroyed, their bank accounts to be wiped out. These people are going to be destitute and homeless and nowhere to go because they refuse to help and support the Lord's people that He stood up. And that's just the way it's going to be. Wrote an article this week, The Biggest Secret of All. I wrote an article and posted it this week called The Biggest Secret of All. And what this article kind of did was recap my other two articles on serpent seed line that dominates the earth today. Puts it more into perspective on the difference between Cain and Abel and what the whole thing was but between their two sacrifices. And I spent a lot of time on this because, you know, it's just something the Lord led me to. Satan's seed is dominant on earth today. And so many people refuse to see it because the churches don't teach it. The churches aren't taught this truth in the seminaries. You know, they don't tell this to the pastors coming in. That's why Satan has so many of his people in charge of the seminaries today, to be sure that the people graduating from them don't have all of the truths of the Bible, that they preach what they're told to preach, that they think what the truths are, what they tell them the truths are. And so it's all very controlled, it's all very manipulated. That's why I won't have a thing to do with religion today. It just turns my stomach, a man-made religion. It reminds me of this whole thing with Cain. Cain attempted to approach God by his own different way. The Lord gave Abel and Adam and them a certain way to approach Him. What was an acceptable sacrifice was the sacrificial offering of an animal. And Cain chose not to believe that. He rebelled against the Lord and decided he was going to come to the Lord in a different way, and produced his own sacrifice to the Lord of works of his own hands, offered him produce as a sacrifice, and the Lord rejected his sacrifice because it wasn't what the Lord had commanded of them to do. And so this is often referred to as the way of Cain, meaning those people who go their own way, who try to find their own way to the Lord, thinking with their own head wisdom that the way He prescribed isn't necessary, that they can come to Him in a different way. And the Bible calls those people robbers. They try to find a different way to Him. There's only one way to Him. And it says robbers and thieves will find themselves in a lake of fire. And so there's only one way to the Lord, and that's through His Son, Jesus Christ, Yahushua. That is the only way to the Father that there is. So all these eons of religions out there and all these billions of people who have decided upon their own reasonings and head wisdoms that they can find their own way to the Lord, they're going to find that they fall short. They're going to find that they fail. There's no other way to the Most High, to the Father, but through His Son, Yahushua. And anything else is going to fail. Anyone else that doesn't believe that and tries to find their own way to Him is going to fail. And another reason is just because I get so much under attack for coming out with the serpent seed line truths, the truths that Satan does have an offspring on earth. And I even revealed one of them lately in my blogger. There was a woman